Welcome to the This One Time podcast. I'm Brady Jolly. This is a special edition of the This One Time podcast. We got my friend, NKU basketball stud, Sam Vinson. So yeah, man, thanks for being here. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
For sure. So you've kind of been a friend of Jolly here the last couple years, been practicing or training some kids down here in our gym in our office. So it's how we got to know you, and just kind of want to start out by just asking you about growing up in the community, growing up in Fort Thomas, your time at Highlands. What was that like?
Yeah, so I grew up in Fort Thomas, lived in the same household my whole childhood. Grew up, went to Johnson Elementary, then went to Highlands Middle School, Highlands High School. And then I get to Highlands, and I played sports my whole life. Got to high school, I really focused mainly on basketball. And at Highlands, that's when I really realized that I could be pretty good at basketball. Sophomore year to junior year, I took a big jump. Then junior year to senior year, it got even better. Junior year, I started getting offers, which was really cool and something new to me, as I've never experienced that, and no one in my family really has. So that was kind of cool. And then winning state my senior year was an awesome experience as well.
Oh, yeah, that was sweet, man. That was awesome. So what was that like growing up? Like, when did you really start hitting your stride and knowing, like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be pretty solid. I think there might be something to this. I might be able to play at the next level.
Even as a kid, I always thought I was pretty good at basketball, being one of the best players on the team growing up. And then just working out all the time, my dad rebounding for me, me just getting work in. I'd always dribble in my garage, just, little things here and there. I'd always work really hard. And then I wasn't the tallest at all. I was on the smaller side. Even sophomore year, I was playing varsity as a sophomore, but I still wasn't super tall. And then really from sophomore year to junior year, I kind of hit a growth spurt. I think I got to like 6'2", 6'3" then. And that's when I realized, like, wow, like I'm actually, like, I could go play at the next level. And I always thought I would. That was always the dream, play at the next level. But then after that came around, my junior year, I really noticed, like, yeah, I'm going to play at the next level. And then even then my senior year, I grew a little bit too. And some say I'm still even growing a little bit, so we'll see. But
How old are you?
I'm 22 now.
22. Okay.
22.
Man, I wanted to hear about the state title run. Tell me about that. I was obviously watching from afar, like a lot of Northern Kentucky people. It was just so fun to watch. I loved that team. But tell me about it. What was it like from your standpoint?
It was awesome. I mean, we've never, at least the group that I came in with, we never been to state. So that was our first time at state after winning regions. And that team, we grew up playing with each other for a long time. Luke Muller, Zach Barth, we played since we were little kids. So we really knew each other well. And then everyone we had around us, we had a great bond, great chemistry. And then when we get down there, the first game was crazy because they called off school, so a bunch of people were down there. Our student section was amazing. But it was kind of weird because it was a COVID era where the whole Rupp Arena wasn't filled out or anything like that, so they still had social distancing, things like that. And then just game after game, I had a feeling, that we were going to win. I don't know. I just had that feeling that we'd get it done. And honestly, the experience was amazing, especially in Kentucky. It's only one state winner in the whole state. And we didn't really have a close game at all. We won all games, I think, by 18 at least. So that was crazy. And then to hear the final buzzer go off after actually winning it was insane. Everyone rushed the court. We hung out at the hotel, hung out with a bunch of Highlands alumni, and we just had a great time after that as well.
Man, that's a dream. That's every Kentucky kid's dream. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Was there one play or one thing that stood out to you about, like, that happened in a game on that run?
There was a couple, I guess. The first game for me, at least, first game in state, first time playing in that building, in Kentucky building, and growing up being a Kentucky fan. It was so cool to play in, and then I had a really good game that game. I just feel like I could have missed, and I think I had like 30 points, and then I had a dunk that ended up getting on Sports Center top 10.
I saw that one.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Another thing, watching Sports Center top 10 growing up, and to be on it, that was actually really cool as well. So
you're living the dream there, brother. That's awesome.
That was probably the main play that stood out.
That's awesome. All right, so talk about transitioning then, making the decision to stay local, go to NKU. What was that like? What was the recruiting process like? What was the decision-making process like?
Yeah, recruiting process was it was a pretty long process. My first scholarship I got was NKU, and then as soon as I got that scholarship, like a month later, COVID hit. So they were the main people that I really had a relationship with because they were my only offer at the time. Then I started getting some more offers as they came in. Throughout summer, I got more offers. But it was so different for me, the recruiting process. I couldn't go on any visits, no officials, no unofficials. So the only time I could talk to coaches was on the phone or Zoom calls with my parents. So that was definitely different. I had no real face-to-face interaction besides a couple. NKU, I already knew NKU. I got to meet with them and stuff before COVID hit, and also some other schools I did as well. But they were my most. I had the best relationship with NKU going through it all. And then also I had a lot of people help me through the recruiting process. My high school coach, Coach Listman, he really helped me. And the main thing he told me, he said, when I was trying to figure out what school, he said, and I was stuck between like 2 or 3, he said, put one in a hat and just pick it out and sleep on it. If you think you can go there when you wake up, then you go there. If not, then that's not the right school.
That's really good advice.
And so that's something that stuck with me, and I picked NKU out the hat. And when I woke up, I was like, yeah, I'm staying local. I want to be around friends, family. They can come watch me whenever. And I just had the best relationship with them. So
yeah, man, that's such a hard decision when you're in it, and you're like trying to decide and think of every factor. But from like people who watched you growing up and people who knew you from afar, like I did, watch you win a state title. When everybody heard, I'm an NKU fan, NKU alum, grew up in Northern Kentucky. Like heard you're staying local, it was like, sweet, man, this is great. We get to see this guy play up close for the next 4 years. So I know everybody around here was pumped, and then you've had a great career there. Talk us through that. What's it been like playing there?
It's been awesome. There's been a lot of ups and there has been downs. But my freshman year, I had a great freshman year, a great team around me, great coaches that supported me. And we ended up losing in the finals that year, which was very tough. In a game I feel like we should have pulled it out. And then, that whole offseason we worked as a team, got better with one mindset to win a championship. And we did do that my sophomore year, which was an awesome feeling to go out there, win that Horizon League championship, and then go play March Madness. Another dream as a kid. We were all super excited. We're sitting there on Selection Sunday, and we get our name called, and everyone just goes crazy. We're playing Houston first round. And that game, it was no fear. It was just like, we're not supposed to win, so let's just go have fun and hoop. And we went out there, we gave it a shot. It was a close game the whole time. It was like down 4 with 4 minutes left, something like that, and we ended up losing by 10 or 11. So it was awesome to play in. And then junior year, ended up tearing my ACL, which was a tough thing to go through. There was a lot of ups and downs with that. Bounced back, though. Then senior year, had a solid senior year. We didn't really have that good of a year as a team, it is what it is. But overall, I had a pretty good time at NKU, a great career, and I'm super pumped that I did choose to stay home and go to NKU.
So were you recruited by Horn?
I was.
So you had the same coach the whole time?
Same coach.
That's great. I mean, in this day and age, there's coaches are bouncing around so much.
Oh, yeah.
That's a blessing to be able to be recruited by the same guy that you play all 4 years with. That's cool. So, man, what if when you were, freshman, sophomore at Highlands, somebody told you, hey, in 10 years you're going to be looking back, state champion, playing in March Madness? That would have been pretty sweet, right?
That would have been awesome. I mean, I probably would have had no idea that I would be doing that, but to do that, and if someone would have told me, I would have been like, probably not. But now looking back, it's crazy.
Yeah, man, you've lived the dream of a lot of players. It's really cool. What talk us through the injury? Overcoming challenges is, we talk about it in our business all the time. Whether you're playing sports, you're in business, like life, it's how you bounce back from those. Sometimes that crafts who you are as a person. So that had to suck when that happened, right? That had to be devastating. Talk about that, and then like what you did to overcome it and how you fought through it.
Well, I've never had a big time injury like that ever in my whole life. I've been lucky to not have that. And it happened we were all the way out at St. Mary's. So we were in California, we were playing then. It happened in the first half, and I felt the pop in my knee, and I kind of knew from other people telling me, like, if you feel like that, that's probably what it is, ACL. And what sucked was we were flying back that night. So having to be on crutching through the whole airport, get on the plane, my legs are longer, and I'm sitting there kind of tight on the plane, which kind of sucked. Then got back and got the MRI, stuff like that, and then figured it out, the next day what exactly it was. And it was a long process, ups and downs. Some days are good, some days are bad, how life is. And some days I felt great, felt like I could go out there and run or play, but I had to take baby steps at a time, which was crazy. And then the worst part was, just watching from the sideline all the time, not even games, but just every single practice, having to be there and not being able to do anything. But then just staying the course, staying in a positive mindset really helped me. And then before I knew it, I was starting to play live play again, and still baby steps at a time. And then finally got into it, back into playing games, which took a while to get used to. And then I was finally full go, full back, playing games.
Good. How long was it from the time that you got hurt till you could play again?
So I got hurt December 21st. Surgery was January 15th. I started playing live play in late September, so it was a good 8 months, 9 months since my injury, and then around 8 months since surgery.
So slow 8 or 9 months.
It was a slow process, yeah.
So for a lot of us that have watched you play, I think you command kind of like a coach on the floor, it looks like, watching you handle the ball a lot. A lot of times the offense runs through you. When you weren't able to play, did you feel like you were still able to make an impact by being at practice, being at the games, talking to the guys?
Yeah, I tried. And, the coaches tried to continue to stay on me to just be vocal and talk to the team, talk to my teammates, and try to stay in it. It is a little hard when you're on the sideline because it feels like you're telling them to do something, but you're sitting there not doing it, or you're sitting there just watching. So it's kind of like you're kind of distant, like away from them. But I try my best. Some days I feel like I could, and some days it was just like what I'm saying. It's not even.
It's got to be a helpless feeling.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So you've just finished your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about what's next.
So I'm waiting on the NCAA to either accept or deny my waiver. I had to submit a waiver to get my year back from my junior year when I tore my ACL. So I was over the game limit. There's a game limit of 30%, and I was about, I think, like 2 games, a game and a half over, something crazy like that. So I had to go through a whole appeal process, submit a paper, write a paper to them. So waiting on that. Hopefully I hear back soon. It's been like 7 or 8 weeks of nothing from them, so hopefully I hear back soon. And if not, I plan on going to play overseas for a couple years.
Cool. What's that process like? How do you get that started? Do you have to hire an agent?
Yeah, so it's a different process for everyone. I mean, it's pretty similar, but you have to go first, find an agent. Agents always reach out to you through Instagram DMs. They get your number. Everyone that I've played with that have been seniors at NKU have all gone on and played pro, so it's kind of good to be able to talk to them and get guidance from them. So, but you got to get an agent first. So this is the time, around this time, start to sign with your agent, figure out who you're going to go with, and then they, I guess pretty much they talk to teams, or they get a feel of what countries you want to go to, what level you want to play in. Is it more money, more just, getting to the highest level overseas, stuff like that. So you figure all that out with your agent, then they come back with some deals with different countries for you, and then you go from there.
Cool. Yeah, so you're in limbo right now. So
exactly.
In the next, you're hoping the next month or two you're going to find out?
I'm hoping in the next week or two, but.
Man, and then what do you, what's training been like? You don't know if you're going to be playing at NKU or playing professionally. Mm-hmm. What's that been like?
I've been lucky that they've allowed me to still work out with the team and stuff like that, so that's awesome.
Good.
So, it's just shots, workouts on court, workouts in the weight room, just waiting to hear if I'm going to get ready to go across the pond, go across the ocean, or be able to stay at home for one more year.
Do you have anywhere in mind you'd like to go?
I mean, there's a bunch of places, honestly. I view it as, getting paid to play basketball and travel the world for a couple of years. So, that's always an awesome thing. But I feel like Italy, we went on a trip to Italy my junior year over the summer as a team. And that was awesome. The places we visited was awesome. Cool. So, going back there, it was super nice. So, that'd be cool. France would be awesome. Greece, anywhere really in Europe,
Yeah. Well, it's just cool. You've shown success in high school, success in college, and this will be another challenge to take on, right?
Exactly.
Exciting.
Exactly.
So let's shift gears. We're big on community involvement here. We try to give back to the community as much as possible. One of the ways that we do that, we're really engaged with NKU's athletic program. We have season tickets. We give to the program. We sponsor some stuff at the arena. Let's just talk about what that's meant to you, what the community means to you, because you are a unique person that's been able to play here in Northern Kentucky in high school and in college. What's it like the community surrounding you and supporting NKU?
It's awesome. I mean, like I said, it's one of the reasons I stayed here, to stay involved in the community and have them come out and be able to support me. So, as an NKU team, the whole team, we do a lot of community engagement, community involvement. We go back to elementary schools and sometimes read books or just play recess time with them, have a good time. And then I do a camp every year in the summer where I have kids come in. I bring my teammates, and my teammates love it just as much as the campers. It's funny, but so I have a camp every summer. This last summer it was like 90-something kids for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it was. So I plan on doing that for a couple more summers and just giving back to the community, teaching them the game of basketball.
I don't know about you, but those camps, they almost were as competitive for me and my teammates when I was at NKU as they were the players, because we would coach. Did you guys get a little group and coach them still?
Yeah.
So we'd coach, like, it was like we were going to war with our teammates that our team was going to win everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's still like that. That's cool, man. What about stories? Like, what stories come to mind from your time at NKU? Some of the good, bad, ugly, just some of the best things that happened or worst things that happened, or challenges or things that you overcame there. Any games that come to mind that were like the craziest or best games that you guys had?
I mean, the craziest game and the best game probably was the Horizon League Championship in my sophomore year when we won it. It was a close game the whole time. We were playing Cleveland State, who we split with the year. We won one, they won one, both by 1 point. So, like, it was a very competitive game. They were a good team, we were a good team. And I think we were up one with, like, it might have been like a minute left, something like that. And our point guard at the time, Xavier Rhodes, he had the ball. He got, like, a rebound. He was dribbling it backward, like, out. And he had no idea, like, what the clock was at. The shot clock was at, like, 3 seconds. And we have people on the sideline screaming, like, 3, 2. And he just turned around and chucked it up and made it. And he looked back at the people on the sideline and gave him a little wink.
Nice.
He had no idea until they said something that was the time left.
Nice. So that ended up locking in the championship for you guys?
Yeah, that was a huge shot. That pretty much sealed the deal.
What's it like mid-major? Obviously, you go into the season, like, you're mid-major, you're probably not going to win the title, playing against Houston and Duke, but you're going for that Horizon League Championship, right? Like, what's the mindset like in the locker room, and when you're working out, getting ready for the season? Like, what's the conversation about? Are you talking about, hey, that's the end-all, be-all, let's win the Horizon? Are you trying to win a couple games? Like, what are some of the goals you guys set in preseason?
It's the same goal every year, I'd say, is to win the Horizon League Championship, to go out there and win a championship. And, the coaches installed that into us. And players above me really taught me that. Like, one, Trayvon Faulkner, I played with him my freshman and sophomore year, and he really taught me, like, it's kind of, if you don't win the championship, it's kind of a fail on our standard at least. We can still have a good year, but on our standard, it's like, you got to get it done. You got to. So that was kind of taught to us, and that's our main goal every year, is to go out there and you got to win a championship.
Yep. Yeah, and NKU, since NKU's went D1 back, that was right after I was done playing, 2012. I mean, tons of success in D1. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Good luck with everything. Good luck with the decision with NCAA. Good luck if it ends up happening with overseas, man. Going to be following you. We've been following your career this whole time and going to continue one way or the other. Thanks for being a friend of the brand, friend of Jolly. You're welcome down here, training your kids anytime, man. So, yeah, I appreciate you being on. It's fun getting to chat.
Thank you for having me.